So picture this. You're on the Mount of Olives, looking out over Jerusalem. And it's right there that Jesus gives one of the most famous and honestly one of the most debated prophecies in the entire Bible. It's this incredible, sweeping vision of the future. We're talking chaos, cosmic signs, and a final, super dramatic return. The question is, what did he actually say, and what are we supposed to make of it all? All right, let's dive in and break it down.
Okay, so we're going to walk through this whole prophecy in 6 parts. It kicks off with a totally shocking prediction that really gets the ball rolling. Then we'll get into the signs, which kind of escalate as we go. First, what he calls the birth pains, then this terrifying great distress, and finally, these wild signs in the heavens. After all that chaos, we'll see the resolution, the promised return. And we'll wrap it all up with the one single super important instruction he left for everyone. Watch.
All right. Part 1, a shocking prediction. It all begins with a bold statement. So, where does this huge, monumental prophecy even start? Well, it actually kicks off in a pretty simple moment. You've got Jesus and his disciples, and they're just walking away from the temple in Jerusalem. Now, you got to understand, this wasn't just any building. For them, this was the center of their entire universe. It was this magnificent, incredible structure that they believed was a symbol of God's permanent presence on earth. It was everything.
And you can just imagine them, right? One of the disciples turns and says, "Look, teacher, what massive stones, what magnificent buildings." You can almost hear the awe in his voice. They're pointing out these enormous stones, just marveling at the sheer scale of the place. To them, this wasn't just some building, it was a testament to their faith. It was something they were absolutely sure would stand forever.
And then, right in the middle of all this admiration, Jesus just drops a bombshell. He says, not one stone here will be left on another. Every one will be thrown down. He looks at this thing they see as a symbol of permanence and predicts not just damage, but complete annihilation. Can you imagine the shock? The one thing they believed was totally unshakable, he says is going to be utterly demolished. Gone.
I mean, understandably, this prediction just rattles them to their core. So a little later, his inner circle, we're talking Peter, James, John, and Andrew, they pull him aside, privately. And they've got these 2 urgent questions on their minds. When will these things happen? And what will be the sign? When is this going to happen, and how will we know it's about to begin? These 2 questions, right here, they set the stage for literally everything that comes next.
Part 2, the birth pains begin. And the key thing to remember here is that the first signs are not the end itself. So Jesus starts to answer them, but he doesn't give them a specific date, not at all. Instead, he starts describing this period of growing turmoil, of chaos. He lays out a whole series of signs, but he gives them this really crucial warning. These things you're going to see, they're not the end. They're just the beginning of what he calls birth pains.
So he paints this picture of just global unrest. First up, you've got false messiahs appearing, right? Religious deception, leading people astray. Then you've got wars and rumors of wars. That's the political chaos. Nations rising up against each other. And finally, you get earthquakes and famines, major natural upheaval. But, and this is the key point he stresses over and over, do not be alarmed. This is all just the prelude. It's not the main event.
And that metaphor he uses, birth pains, is so crucial to understanding this. Just think about it for a second. What are birth pains? They're like contractions, right? They signal that something new is on the way. Yeah, they're painful, they're intense, for sure, but they aren't the final event itself. They are the process that leads to the birth.
And then the turmoil, it shifts. It goes from this big world stage right down to the family dinner table. Jesus warns that the persecution will ramp up, and it's going to get deeply personal. We're talking about fracturing the most intimate relationships you can imagine. People will be handed over to councils, flogged in synagogues. Even brother will betray brother. He says everyone will hate you because of me. It's a really chilling picture of a world where trust has just completely, utterly broken down.
Okay, Section 3, the Great Distress. This is a period of unequaled suffering. After those birth pains, things give way to something far, far worse. Jesus points to this one single specific event that's going to trigger a period of what he calls great distress, a time of suffering so intense that he says it will be unequaled in all of human history. Nothing before it, nothing after it will be like it.
And he gives this single, really ominous trigger. He says, when you see the abomination that causes desolation standing where it does not belong. Now, the text here is intentionally mysterious. I mean, scholars have debated for centuries what this could possibly refer to.
Is it a person, an event, some kind of physical object? We don't know for sure. But what we do know is that whatever it is, its appearance is the definitive sign that the absolute worst is about to begin.
And you know what's interesting? The text itself actually inserts a little note right here. It says, let the reader understand. It's like a direct address to the person reading it, almost a whisper from the author saying, hey, you, pay really close attention right now. Think about what this means. It's a deliberate signal that this one phrase is a major key to unlocking this whole prophecy.
And the instructions that come next, they are born of pure, absolute desperation. He says to flee to the mountains. Immediately. Don't go back for anything. If you're on your roof, don't even think about going back inside to grab a coat. Just go. He says to pray it doesn't happen in winter. The urgency in his words paints this terrifying picture of a crisis that is so sudden and so severe that even a moment's hesitation could be fatal. It's a time of distress never seen before.
All right, on to part 4, signs in the heavens. This is really the climax of the chaos. So after that period of just unprecedented suffering on Earth, the prophecy shifts its focus. The chaos isn't just on the ground anymore. Oh no, it goes cosmic. It starts shaking the very foundations of the heavens themselves.
And this is where the very constants of our universe just begin to unravel. First, he says, the sun will be darkened. The source of all our light and life will just go dark. And the moon will not give its light. So, with the sun gone, the moon follows. It will refuse to give its light, plunging the entire world into this absolute, completely unnatural darkness. And as if that's not enough, the stars will fall from the sky. Can you even imagine? It's a complete and total collapse of the known order of things. The heavens, the ultimate symbol of stability and permanence, they will be shaken to their absolute core.
Part 5, the promised return. Because out of all that chaos comes a resolution. This incredible cosmic collapse, it's not the final act. It's actually the dramatic, terrifying overture for the prophecy's true climax. It's the one event that all of this chaos has been building toward.
Because at that time, he says, people will see the Son of Man coming in clouds with great power and glory. So, piercing through all that darkness and chaos, a figure appears, the Son of Man, which is a title referencing a powerful divine figure from Old Testament prophecy. And listen, this is no quiet, subtle arrival. It is going to be a public, unmistakable display of power and glory for the entire world to see. And the purpose of this spectacular arrival, it's immediately clear. He will send his angels to gather his elect from the ends of the earth. It's a great final gathering. Angels are sent out to the 4 corners of the globe to bring together the elect, his chosen followers. This moment, right here, is the ultimate resolution to all the suffering, all the turmoil, all the chaos that came before. And now for our final section, number 6, the final instruction, watch. This is where we shift from the cosmic all the way back to the personal. So after this absolutely epic, cosmic vision of the future, Jesus brings the focus right back down to earth, back to you and me. He finally addresses their original question about when all this is going to happen, but his answer, well, it might just be the biggest twist in this entire prophecy. Because here it is, here's the twist. He says, but about that day or hour no one knows, not even the angels in heaven, nor the Son, but only the Father. So despite all of these signs, all these warnings, the exact timing is unknowable, it's a divine secret, and Jesus is so emphatic about this. He's like, look, not even the angels know, not even the Son himself knows. The precise day and the hour are known only by the Father, period.
So then how are we supposed to think about this? Well, he uses this really simple analogy to explain the tension here. He talks about a fig tree. Just like you can see leaves sprouting on a fig tree and you know summer is near, you can see these signs and you'll know the season of his return is approaching. You can know it's close, like right there, standing at the door. But what you can't know, what you'll never know, is the exact moment that door is going to swing open. You can know the season, but you absolutely cannot know the day or the hour.
And so, at the end of it all, this entire sprawling prophecy, with all its predictions of war and disaster and cosmic upheaval, it all boils down to a single one-word command. And it's not just for his disciples back then. He says, what I say to you, I say to everyone, watch. It's not a call to predict dates or create complicated charts. It's a call to be spiritually alert, to be ready, to be awake. The ultimate takeaway here isn't about trying to figure out the exact details of the future, but about being faithful right here in the present. His final command couldn't be simpler. Watch.